Okay, so we're working on this. Yeah, all right. So thank you so much for being here, guys. I hope you enjoyed that film. One more time for the cast and crew of Act of Love, everybody. Now, just take this opportunity to let you know, just in case, we announced this outside, but if you missed it, this is actually a short film, a half-hour film, and I know the people in here are not going to be leaving right now because the cinematographer of the film, Mr. Jim Bishop. Please, a hand for Jim Bishop. Hey, guys, you guys, I can't name everyone right now, but I have to name one special person, the baby in that film. My goodness. She just happens to be here. She's not a baby anymore. She's a whole toddler. Please put your hands together for Miss Talia Jasmine. Hey, look at her. She's there hanging. She is together for weeks. Weeks, please make your way down. Hey, guys, you guys can do better, man. Please, one more time for Mwix Mutinda. All right. This is the producer of the film. Just in case, I know they were industry. They're Charlene Wangare. Hey, Charlene. Okay. Before I call the director of the film, I just want to call a couple of experts I've seen in the film right now, because we really need a bit of input from someone that knows what they're talking about. Not just an artist who's passionate about mental health, but someone. Anne Gitere. Anne Gitere is going to be giving us something of an expertise view of it. Now, I just want to say at this point in the film, we're going to call up one more person, but before, we're going to call up two more people. But I just want you to know, just in case, because the makers of very, very, very real. And I'm sure that there's people who are looking up at that screen and saying, that is my story. I have gone through something of that sort. Just in case you feel like the themes of the film triggered some, so just in case you need to have a conversation with anyone at all, we have provided means for that, and we have a tent outside. And that tent is manned by a group called Mental 360. So if you want to go outside, it's fine. There's someone who's waiting for you. If you felt that was a little bit much, that is fine. We completely understand. Please make your way to the tent outside that is that is labeled the Cradle Arts Festival. The Cradle Arts Festival is, of course, one of the initiatives by this group called Mental 360. And joining us on the panel is a psychologist also working with this organization. She has been working in this and knows exactly what this is about, has interacted with it on the day-to-day. Please put your hands together as she makes her way down. Miss Peris Wangoi. And finally, hey, I'm seeing there's one extra chair here. Have I missed anyone out? Hold up. Just hold on. Let me just check my list. Is that Talia's elder brother? And one of her biggest fans? Okay, I'm sure we have. Yes, we do. All right, so I just want to call up to the stage the director of this film. Being a director myself, I really want to know how you managed to pull this off. He's someone that I've known personally for a long time. I've been watching his star rise for a while, and I'm really, really proud of this young man for making this film happen. Please put your hands together as he makes his way down, Mr. Eric Mwangi. Hey, Director Litwepan in here he is. Hey, please have a seat, man. Hey. All right, guys, please have a seat. Above all, guys, as we get into this panel discussion, I know, I think I can speak with authority on behalf of the makers of this film that we are so delighted by the turnout of this film. You guys are here to support. You guys are here to support this short film, and you were here at its genesis, at its launch, and we want to thank you so much. So please give yourselves a hand for being here. Thank you. Even those of you at screen one, please. Okay, so we want to get into the conversation right away. And my first question, of course, is directed at the director of the film, Eric, if I am not wrong. And I want to hope that they have a mic for them. Do we? All right, yeah, let's just get that mic ready. Eric, I'm not sure, but I believe that this was your directorial debut as far as fiction short film goes.
Yes.
Baptism by fire for sure.
For sure.
Working on some challenging material.
Yes.
And not only did you have a cast that was obviously up to the task, but you had a baby in the cast, not a toddler, a 6-month-old baby. Ladies and gentlemen, she was just 6 months old when this film was being shot. I have 2 questions for you. One is quite brief, and the other one you can go into with a little bit of detail. First of all, I really would like to know how you feel sitting at this cinema hall, looking at all these people who have just seen the work of your hands. I want to know how that feels, and I just want to get a little bit of an insight from you about what it was like making this film and what it feels like now being on the other side. One more time for Eric, everyone. Go ahead.
Thank you so much, Mugambi, for that question. I think Kenyans love to keep a secret because by Sunday last week, we didn't know whether we were going to fill one cinema. But today, thank you so much for showing up here. I can see so many people that I recognize and love. We feel the love. Thank you so much for that. What was the second question?
Second question was being a first-time director, venturing into fiction storytelling for the first time. With this challenging story with very heavy issues to it and a child actor on the set. What was that like for you? I really would like to know.
I want to also speak about an unspoken pressure and throwing it to Charlene and Shelley, where you're committed to around, I think it was around 20,000 euros to film. That's a little over 2 million shillings to make this movie. And so it's not just the present things on set on that day, on the days that we're filming, but it's also that someone has actually given this money to you so that you can deliver something that's good and up to the task. I think Baby Talia, praise the Lord, gave us, created the perfect conditions for us to feel the issues without understanding them. And so, the first point of contact is that, as you can see on this panel to my right, everyone is female. And I'm the man here, or a man. And I'm trying to relate to an issue that is mostly felt by women and mothers. Those who've been mothers, those who've lost a child, those who've, in some form or way been a guardian. They sort of understand, they feel the issue. I don't. And so the first thing that you have to look for, and I need to give props to the writer because she's the one who saved me on day 2, Shelley Gitonga. She gave me the secret on how to direct this film because I went home on the first day completely defeated. And I remember you enter your house and there's food on the table and you're trying to eat, but you can't because of the happenings of that day. Then my wife is just, crisscrossing the house, wondering what is wrong with this guy. He's in a world of his own. Let me just go sit with him because I've never seen him like this. So she comes and she sits with me. And she places her hand on me and asks me, is everything okay? And I think it was at that moment that I broke because I was completely defeated. The weather was against us on that day. The sun was like something we've never seen. The baby had decided that this is the day that the Lord has made. I will show these guys what it means to be a child. And she really came out. Now, as Shelley had written the story, every scene demanded that the baby be in there. And if the child is not there physically, you should be able to feel the presence of the child in that location, like the interview setup where Mwikali Juliana was sitting and getting the interview done. You couldn't really feel the child in that. You couldn't really see the child in the interview, but you could feel the presence with just one cry. And I think those are some of the things that you have to consider when you're doing this. And in the second day, Shelley spoke to me and told me, now, Eric, I have a full day of things to be done. I have to get the house ready. I have to get the food ready. I have to do the dishes. I have to get everyone else ready. I have to do this, that, and the other thing. And my baby just won't stop crying. What do you think I do? And so with that question, she brought me into a conversation that I did not know I would be having. And she told me, sometimes I just have to push through the cries until I finish my objectives and then attend to the child. And probably perhaps by the second task, the child is already quiet. And so I felt as though she was trying to tell me to not be too compassionate, which was working against what I was experiencing on set. When you're directing, you're also trying to be very compassionate. The budget does not allow you to hire twins so that you can exchange the children, or triplets so that you can exchange the children as you're filming. We didn't have that kind of luxury. So I think what she said to me on that time is what sort of, and it came in day 2. I wish it came on day 1 in the morning, Shelley. But thank you so much for that, because that was the key to the rest of the day. By day 4, Shuru Methu, who's our gaffer, was was wondering what is wrong with this merciless director. What he doesn't know is that I'd been given the key 2 days ago, 2 days before.
Right.
And so everyone on set was wondering, this man is just cruel, asking the actor to do these things. But we had had a conversation, and my interaction with Talia's mom, who's Wambui Mwema, who's here in the audience, and who was the guardian on set, and Shelley really helped, and it saved me, because I know nothing. The point of Contact Mugambi was the relationship that I created with Juliana's character was, has any one of you here ever had a day from hell? A day where things didn't work out by noon, like you just wanted the day to be over. And if you've had such a day, are you the kind of person who suppresses conflict in your heart? I am. We are called yielders. We yield a lot. We get pushed down by things. We push things in the corner. We don't deal and don't deal and don't deal. And by the time when the situation is ripe, the explosion comes. And so that is the only relationship that I had with the character. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Eric. I think the next question then would go to Shelley. Shelley, as far as I know, and I might be wrong on this story did not come out of a vacuum. It did not come out of thin air. There is some elements of this story that you identify with personally, without going too deep into it, because we want to respect the nature of the situation. I just want to know what the seed of this was, especially as it pertains to your personal situation.
Hi. Hello.
Hey, one more time for Shelley, guys.
So the genesis of the story came from the aspect when I became a first-time mom, and I was going through this struggle of trying to relate to my baby. I would constantly go to Google, and like Google, for anyone who's a mom here, Google is like this big black hole. Like you'll easily search what to do when my baby does this, how to do this when my baby does this. So every time I'll go to Google, I'll literally just find solutions where only white women are posting whatever it is they're doing to their kids. And most of them, it will be in the scenario where the baby is actually doing well. And there's never a point where it's like, what to do when my baby cannot stop crying the whole night. And I just really was clinging onto any story that's Kenyan, any black woman who is Kenyan that can relate to this, whatever it is I'm going through. And most of the time I would really feel so bad. And it is in that it's in that I realized that this is a story that I really need to tell. And more so, some fine day, the main grantors of the project, ilifika to your point here, niko nasema, this is that moment where it's like, you know, when you're in a basketball court and you like literally throw the basketball hoping that this is the shot. So for me, that was this story. I was like, if this story doesn't nail it, I've wrapped being a creative. And that was that. It was just that clinging hope that if for some reason this story is chosen and this story gets made, I'll give that light hope to any woman who is going through whatever I went through just by being a Kenyan or being a black woman. Yeah. That's
wonderful, and I think you succeeded in that regard. Yeah. Yes. I have a question for our producer, Charlene. No, wait. No, let me go to Naomi first. Naomi, associate producer and cameo appearancer. Appeara.
Gotta plug yourself, guys.
Naomi, you are someone who's obviously a multi-disciplinary artist. You're not just an actor, you're also a producer now, and you've got into the associate production of this film. I really would like to know how you got involved in the project and seeing it from both points of view. How do you feel about it now? And you actually are seeing it from 3 points of view now, because you've gone from actor to associate producer to now viewer and consumer of the content. I really want to know what that is like for you right now.
Multifaceted question. Love it. When Shelley pitched, I was in the same class with Charlene for producers, and when Shelley was pitching the story, everybody was like, "You're killing our babies. No, we don't want to do that," and no one wanted the story, and so for that reason alone, I think our mentor, Mr. Tendeka, was like, "You guys, that's a good story." So I called Charlene. No, Shelley first called and was like, "Naomi, please be my producer." But at that time, I had picked another story to produce. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to look for a director that I know, and I'm going to look for a good producer, and then we will make it happen. But don't worry, I'll be involved in the project all through. Then I called Charlene and I called Eric, and I was like, guys, please, this girl, I love her. The story is daring, I know, but let's do it. It's a good story. And from there, they took it and they ran with it. Most of the work, in fact, was done by them from the onset. The preparation, the pitching, everything. It was them. I then came in after the product, when they've pitched. Sazilo amepata pesa, nikakuja. Nikakuja tukaanza kufanya. And then I told Charlene, you know what? I'd love to act. I love acting. I don't think I will ever stop acting. Could I please? And I'm like, okay, let's talk with the director. And the casting director, Godfrey Ojambo. And they were like, okay, she's a good actor. Tumpatie tu. Then nika audition, by the way, na wakanipea. I'm not lying. And they gave it to me. So I loved the story. I'm not a mother yet. I keep saying that. But you know, I got a small sister when I was 17 years old. I was the last born for 17 years until my parents decided. So my sister used to cry so much. And I would wonder, Mom, kwa nini haum breastfeed? Like, can you do something about it? I never used to understand. So when I did this story, when I read it, and when I became an actor in it and involved in the production, I understood Mugambi. And so I felt it was an important story to tell.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Hey, all right, on to our super producer, Charlene. Charlene, I know bringing this film to the screen was not easy. Watching the closing credits, there was obviously a lot of people involved in this. But everything came down to whether you could make it happen or not. Congratulations for bringing this to the screen. There's filmmakers in the house, there's non-filmmakers in the house, there's people who understand the entire process, there's those who don't. So I want to make this question as, you know, like as expansive as possible to everyone that is involved or not involved in the film industry. I really would like to know, as a creative producer, and just in case you don't know what a creative producer does, they're the ones that are in charge of the creative vision, and they bring together everything from the funding to the crew, and once the film has been shot, they are sitting with it all the way to the very end, I believe all the way to today and beyond today. So your work is by no means over. I really would like to know what attracted you to this project. You are definitely a powerhouse. I know you are very selective with your time and the projects that you select to devote your time to. I really would like to know what it is about this project, what the magic source of this project was that had you on it. And I would like you to know how you feel with all your fairy dust sprinkled on it and brought to life.
Wow, thank you very much, Mugambi. First of all, thank you for showing up. It means a lot. And of course, I want to thank the crew. I want to thank the cast. I want to thank Mwix for giving everything to this movie. So to answer your question, so I don't take too much time. What made me take this movie was Shelley. Shelley's pitch was solid. Like there was no 50-50. She was not going to change her direction for anybody. So it was Shelley. But first, let me mention Naomi, because I had Shelley's pitch. It was too intense. And I was like, hey, am I going to be able to deliver this? Okay, let me just step away. But now Naomi calls. And then Eric calls and goes like, you guys, let's just do this. And I was like, are you guys sure? This thing is intense, you know? And then I talked to Shelley again. Shelley, we had so many conversations, like day after day. I think I blew so much airtime. Just we were talking, even now getting on internet calls and everything, just to understand. And then finally, I realized she was not backing down. Even when you look at her quotes about this movie, it's the same thing she's been saying from the beginning. So it's a story that needed to be told, yeah? And the fact that she honored us and trusted us to tell this story, I was like, you know what? Yeah, I'm going to do this. So I'd say it's Shelley for sure. And of course now the fact that somehow, miraculously, because this doesn't happen often in film, the whole team fell into place. That is so rare. Like, the team was right. Like 50 people, actually more than 50 people at the same place, and it fell into place. I'm so grateful. Yeah.
I have a second question for you, Charlene. What did you feel about this film was important to society? I know there's something about the film that you imagined, hey, this is not a film that I need to make. This is also a film that needs to get seen. What connection was that for you?
My connection to this film also was when I read the script. Okay, by the time we were shooting, this was not the original script. Eh? What you've just seen is like draft 15, perhaps. So, but there's this thing here I noticed, like when someone goes through something like depression, that's not a disease you discuss. Like, where is the exact pain? Is it a headache? Is it your leg aching? Is it your heart? Like, it has to be something very physical. So this shone a light on something non-physical that is actually causing physical pain. So, and I was like, you know what? If we can create a space where people feel like, oh my God, I can relate to that. And that's what's been happening in the film festivals, that it has been screened. I think Mwix will elaborate on that a bit more. When she was in Tanzania, okay, let me not get into that, she will tell you. But bottom line, when it's screened, there are people who actually go like, I went through that. And I could not tell people because it looks like I'm pretending, you know? Depression is not real. It's one of those white diseases, you know, Western diseases. So the fact that I feel like we should create safe spaces whereby you can actually say, I'm not feeling okay, and it's not physical pain. But eventually it will lead to physical pain if it's not taken care of naturally. Yeah.
I feel you on that completely. All right, so I want, before we receive an expert point of view, because we don't have much time and I really want to move this along. And ladies and gentlemen, the filmmakers are here. We're not chasing away by any means. We're going to be out in the lobby. If you want to have a conversation with them, please approach them and have a conversation with them. I want to speak, of course, to the star of the film, our lead character. One more hand for Miss Mwix Mutinda. Hey Mwix, ulikuwa na kazi kwa hii. Talia, I think, has gone and taken a break outside. Talia and you, I think, share almost an equal amount of screen time.
Exactly, yeah.
She has more dialogue than you, though.
She did.
She's speaking pretty much throughout the film. Okay, so I really don't know. First of all, I really want to know what your connection was with the character and with the material, because you seem to bring it in a way that was really authentic. And I just want to say this on behalf of all actors. At no point in a discussion about Kenyan film have actors been considered the weakest link. At no time whatsoever in the past 10, 20 years of conversation about Kenyan film have actors been considered, no, you know what, we could do really well if we had better actors. We don't. Like, the actors are really showing up. And Mwix, I believe, I speak for everyone and I say you really showed up for this one. So I really want to know if there was a personal connection to it. And of course, like I'm asking with everyone else, I really would like to know, because it has been said that a film is never completed until it is seen, how you feel now that the film has come to some level of completion.
Wow. Thank you. There is my other lead character, my fellow lead. Yeah, the youngest actor I've ever worked with. Hey, she delivered, right?
She did.
Where?
Kama brief ilikuwa kulia.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah.
She nailed it.
Yeah, so first of all, I think this one has to be, I know every role I've played before is very special in its own special way, but this one was really, really heavy. Like one that I was really scared about. You know, you get a call to go for auditions, and you're so excited about it, and then you go for the auditions, and then you get the role, and then you're like, wait a minute, what is this I got myself into? Because it was heavy. And the writer, Shelley, Shelley tells me, by the way, Mwix, this is my story. Just know that. I was like, hey, that is heavy. That is a threat. That is a huge challenge. So that means you cannot just dive into it in a shallow way. You really have to do your research. So I talked to mothers around me. Like, let's just have a candid conversation. Tell me what you've never told anyone. What have you gone through with your child? And one of the things that they were telling me, so I was just telling them, I'm researching on this role that I'm about to play in a film, so I want to understand what motherhood is about, what you feel about your baby, what you've gone through. And they're like, oh, does it address postpartum depression? And I'm like, ish, that kind of a thing. I cannot tell you a lot, so yeah, but it's something related to that. Please tell me she kills a child. And I'm like, no, Because if there's no beat that addresses that, then you guys are not real. You're not telling the reality of the story.
Oh my God.
I got that from so many mothers. Recently, I had gone to a festival, Sauti Zetu Film Festival in Dar es Salaam. And a lady came to me and told me, you know what? I do not judge Juliana. I stand with you, whatever you did. I feel you. For me, like 3 times I have been tempted, and I'm like, yo, relax, safe space, talk to me, tell me. They don't have to be 3. Okay, fine, 5. I mean, 5 times, actually, let's say 7. 7 times I have found myself working, I'm in between jobs, and then this little creature will not stop crying, and I'm wondering, do I need you here at this moment? Where do I take you? It was crazy, you know, just getting that feedback, and they're relating to what I was being told when I was researching for that. And I'm also surrounded by very beautiful people who allowed me to babysit their children during that time. And that is also another hint I was given by our writer, Shelley. Shelley told me, Mwix, what do you feel about kids? Actually, that's what Eric asked me when they were auditioning me. Mwix, what do you feel about children? I'm like, I love kids. What do you mean? You know, I'm a kids teacher. You know, I teach kids. I mentor kids. Kids are amazing. So anyway.
Gafla Binvu.
Gafla Binvu. You know, I just knew children from, you know, you play with them for a few minutes, a few hours, and you're like, they're crying, they need to eat.
Return
just feed
to
them.
sender. Yeah.
They're crying, maybe they need to change their diapers. You do your thing. You're the mother here. So Shelley told me, go get a child and babysit them when the mother is not around, when there's no one for you to hand over that child to, and see how that feels. Yo, I felt it. I actually did that.
Yeah. And then you had to take this journey into now being the mother of a child pretty much on screen.
Which was heavy, because also it was a connection, it was a combination of a lot of stories of people I know and a lot of children that I know. And now we bring that cocktail together and see, okay, so at this point, what exactly am I feeling? What is the feeling inside when the minute this child is crying? What do I want to do at this point? So yeah, I think that was just it for me, getting into it.
I think I can speak for everyone when I say you really fulfilled it, and we can see all the work coming through. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. So we need to move along with the conversation, and I thought that the conversation would be incomplete without expertise from people who are actually working in the field. I believe that these are people that have seen this from time to time, but seeing it in the real world. So speaking on behalf of Mental 360, and again, I would like to say that Mental 360, and I guess I can give you your shout outs now. Mental 360 have been involved in this process. There are people that I've worked with personally. Like I said, I am an artist that is very passionate about mental health. and even more passionate about mental illness, because a lot of people want to talk about mental health. It's a nice buzzword now. It's like, oh yeah, let's talk about mental health. You know, everyone is suffering from some form of mental health. And it's like, no, mental health means that you're healthy. Let's talk about mental illness. And that is where a lot of people start to leave the WhatsApp group. So these are people that are dealing with it. These are people that have remained in the WhatsApp group. Just in case you haven't received any of their leaflets, they do have a leaflet that has a brief questionnaire about it that has you evaluate your life within the last month and asks you questions that would probe into whether you might be suffering from some form of mental strain. Now, I just want to speak representing Mental 360. I'm so sorry, you guys. I have notes all over the place. I really apologize. Guy, wait, hiya. Utaji introduced to me. I'm so sorry. Paris, yes, Paris from Mental 360. I believe you're seeing this film for the first time.
Yes.
Yes, and I really want to know what it is that has a really firm crossover from what you've seen on the screen to what you've seen in real life, because we have a limited exposure to real life compared to what you might have had. I really want to know what you feel about it, having seen this.
I think when I first heard that I'm going to come to be part of this, I was really excited and also expectant to see if it is actually she's going to deliver, and you did. Honestly, the way you came out, the way you acted, siwezi sema mingi kuhusu about acting, but you really did a good job. Yeah, showing how the emotional strain, you really did a good job. And so there's nothing much to say to this, to add to what has happened today. I'm really privileged to be part of this because it is hard for me to come and talk about postpartum depression. People think I'm coming from a scientific point of view as a psychologist, but from the entertainment industry, you make it palatable. You make it easy for people to understand, oh yeah, this is something that's going on. And what Charlene, I don't know if it's Charlene, sorry. What Charlene said about depression not being something we can touch, something we can see, it's very abstract. So these stories help us to tell these stories and tell people, you know what, this is something that is happening. So yes, this was definitely a good film for people to know about postpartum depression and even depression in general, because it's still quite misunderstood. People think it's just sadness. You'll just get over it. And also with, mothers going through postpartum depression, people think it's blues, ni vile tu umechoka. When you go home, you'll be fine with support, but then it lasts 1 year and you don't understand, having a baby should be joyful, but then it's not. There's even homicidal ideations. So we need to understand that this is something that happens, and I'm really glad that the film industry is coming in. And please don't be scared I know it's intense. I know mental health issues are very intense, but it's because it's quite abstract. You can't really explain something that's not measured. The brain is still very misunderstood. But please, you're the best people to get to people in the communities rather than us in the hospitals, because people come when it's bad. People come when it's now gone, so far gone, when we need to give medication, we need to, handle things differently. But when people see this on the screens, it's easy for them to know, what, I've been having sadness, because like depression, you just have to have sadness for 2 weeks consistently, and we start thinking about medication. So this film was a really good way of telling people, you know what, talk about it. And Mental 360 is a very good platform because we give you a sliding scale. So don't think therapy is for just rich people. It's for everyone. It's not for white people. It's for all of us, even when there's nothing going wrong, even if it's just for self-exploration. So yeah.
Thank you very much, Paris. And our final question is to Madame Anne Giteria, clinical psychologist and mediator. Anne, I think you've interacted here with something that you experience on the daily. I'm wondering, how is it that we can normalize conversations about mental health, about mental illness, and how can we be empowered as individuals out there to become champions for the mental wellness of everyone we come across?
Great. Thank you for having me. And first, I would like to congratulate the filmmakers. Thank you so much for doing this. This is because this is what we are struggling with as a society. Mental illness has become a big thing, And we are looking for people who can at least normalize the conversation. And this is one of the best platforms that we can use to normalize conversations around mental illness and mental health. Now, when it comes to encouraging people on how they can handle mental illnesses, it's very important to have people around you, the support system. Because we have so many people who are like Juliana out here, and a support system is very, very important. You could see Juliana moving from one person to the other, even to the church. And every time you don't have a support system, things get worse. And sometimes you're not even able to know that you're actually going through something. Because sometimes you're not even able to identify what exactly is wrong with you, especially when you have depression and when you have postpartum depression, because most mothers will focus on the baby and not themselves. The other thing is self-care. If you're here and you're not doing self-care is very, very, very important. And I know most of us will run from work to family and other things, but it's very important to do some self-care. The other thing is facing the reality. Is there something that you are not dealing with in terms of, we know we are not perfect, we know we have flaws, but sometimes we don't face them. Because sometimes if you start listening to what people are telling you, if people have noticed something about you, it's very important to look at that and face it. For example, if somebody says, oh, and nowadays you're easily agitated, just look back and see. The other thing that is also very connected with the self-care is sleep. Please sleep.
Yeah, I feel that
Rest.
one too.
Rest is very important because for something like postpartum depression and even the other depression, if you don't rest, you become very anxious. And the more you don't sleep, the more you become anxious.
Right.
And even for mothers, sleep when the baby sleeps. Because postpartum depression starts actually early. Sometimes when you're expectant and after you get the baby. So it's very easy. If you pay attention to yourself, you actually be able to get help early. Yeah.
All right, thank you so much. One more time for our panel, everybody. Thank you so much. I have been so blessed by this conversation. I've been blessed by the film as well. I really want very quickly to get into thanking our supporters, our partners that made this possible. First of all, the Kenya Film Commission, state corporation mandated to promote a vibrant local film industry for job and wealth creation and positioning Kenya as the preferred film destination. KFC, our hands are on, not our hands, but our eyes are on you. Please continue, not hands, eyes, our hands are back here, but please, continue supporting this industry. You can see the work such as these. We really, really are looking for all the support that we can get. Thank you so much. I'd also like to thank People. People are a very special fintech company. They're really looking at empowering people in Africa by breaking barriers by use of prepaid cards and an app. Now, if you are able to sign up, please visit the People. And People is spelled Pyppl. And they have a stand over by the place where you were being processed before you got in, where you got your tags. This is a fintech company that actually has prepaid cards, prepaid MasterCards that are connected to an app that you can download on your phone. And this app actually enables you to upload, I hope that's the word I used, but to upload money onto your card and gives you control. It's cheaper than mobile money transactions. If you can feel that one, because I've been feeling it lately. And they actually have offers where you can get cash back at various establishments, including MyMovies.Africa. So if you want to rent or own this film for life, you can actually pay with your People card, which is available outside, and you'll actually get 10% cash back on your purchase. Please find out more. We have the People staff here, and you can find out more from them. We also like to thank Skills Hub. Skills Hub Africa is an organization that's dedicated to nurturing skills, unlocking potential, and facilitating personal and professional growth. Skills Hub can actually connect you with the people that you need. For the filmmakers here, let's say you're looking for a sound person, and you want to look for a sound person that is actually qualified. You can actually approach Skills Hub and say, hey, Skills Hub, do you have a sound person? And Skills Hub will be like, yeah, actually there's someone that we actually facilitated training for, and they're actually graduated, and they're actually a qualified sound person, and you can have them on your set, and they will make that connection. If you want to make those connections, please get in touch with Skills Hub. We also want to thank National Bank. I'm moving as fast as I can. A subsidiary of the KCB Group, a fully fledged commercial bank. Now, one thing that National Bank has been doing as part of its sustainability agenda has been enabling sustainability for long-term business success while contributing to economic, oh yes, okay, sure, yes, more and more. So, if you know anything about the Sustainable Development Goals, National Bank has actually been concentrating on one of them, which is ensuring healthy lives and promoting well-being for people of all ages, which makes sense as to why they got involved in this film. And that is not all. They are enabling the financing of the creative industry. They understand that co-creating along with creators in different art forms in the arts industry will enable them. They have a foot in the government, and they know exactly what the creatives need, particularly when it comes to their financial planning. I am happy to say that they are actually going to be participating in some capacity building in the year 2024, in January of 2024, and they want to build a cohort of 200 creatives, and they actually want to train them in such aspects such as financial literacy and taking care of their own personal finances. So, if you want to know what they are doing, you're going to have to do something. You're going to have to follow the Act of Love Film page. So Act of Love Film on Instagram, that's where you can find it. National Bank is going to be coordinating with the filmmakers so that they can get their announcement out about this. And finally, of course, Mental 360, who are involved in providing therapeutic care. You heard the work that they're involved in. They're very passionate about the mental wellness, particularly of young people, and they have all these programs running across Kenya. Please, if you want to know more about them, if you want to have a conversation with them, please get in touch with them. Finally, I would like to call the cast and crew. Cast and crew, please rise up, rise up, rise up. Make your way to the front so that you can take your bow. As the cast and crew, hey, Jim Bishop, I see you. Jim, come to the front, come to the front. We're going to take a picture. But I would like, as the cast and crew are making their way forward, I would like to invite the co-founder of Yakwetu, one of the distributors of this film of The Act of Love. Please put your hands together and give a warm welcome to Mr. Mike Strano. Mike Strano, please. Let's wrap this one up.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Thanks for coming. Cast and crew can still make their way down. Just have a couple of slides. Hope it's going to work. Let's see. Okay, they're still queuing it up. Yeah, there we are. Okay, it's just connecting. But what do you guys think of the film? As that is loading, how many, put your hand up here if you're a creative in the creative industry. Keep your hand up. Why are we halfway? Are we 100% or? Proudly, if you're a creative. Yes. Okay. Keep your hand up if you know a creative. Friends and family. Okay. Keep your hand up if you love Kenyan and African creativity. Okay, those who have them down, I'm not sure why you're here. But thank you for coming. Well done. Don't know what's happening with my slides. All right. Let me just jump straight in. So with Trishna, who's here, we founded a company called Yakwetu. Yakwetu in Kiswahili means of us and for us, and that's what we stand for in terms of taking African content to the world, both through distribution and through retail. Our first service is MyMovies.Africa, that some of you have experienced as well. And as of now, Act of Love is live in 190 countries on MyMovies.Africa worldwide. That's actually every country in the world, 195 countries and territories. So please, when you got the same link that you bought a ticket on, if you click that link now, you'll see it's live for rent or own. There's also a share button. You can share that on WhatsApp to your family and friends anywhere in the world, and they can transact in local currency. They can rent it or they can own it for life. And then a treat for you guys, if you did come through the app and buy a ticket, you can take it home now and watch it with family and friends who didn't make it tonight. You can watch it again. You have 7 days to watch it on our service. Okay? How's that sound? Yeah? All right. If for whatever reason you didn't use the app to buy your ticket, our team are outside. They're all in uniform. Please talk to them. They can tell you how to get onto the service. We'll also send you an SMS so you can sign up for the service and benefit from the free rental as well as an incentive. Okay? And make no mistakes, those people outside are not activators. They are some of the smartest Gen Zs I've ever met. That is our development and data science team. Okay, so they'll also ask you some questions about your viewing habits and what have you. Please indulge them. We're trying to build this industry from the ground up. And you know, if you want any other features as well, ask them and we'll probably build it for you. So we have 8 developers, 4 data scientists, all of them from Moringa School, if there's anyone from Moringa here. Great school. Right, finally, as we wrap up, since all of you said you guys are creatives, today we discussed a very important issue, and that's PPD, and it's very, very important. And you can see the power of film and bringing that out. However, our creative industry is under threat. And it's under threat from piracy, and there's no other issue. I see actors fighting producers and producers fighting actors. It needs to stop. We're fighting the wrong enemy. Fighting ourselves is not the enemy. Piracy takes 252 million shillings from our industry per day. Not per year. Per day. Now, if we fix that, I don't think any of us will be complaining as actors, producers, cast and crew, right? And it depends on all of us. Please do not consume pirated content. Please support platforms that have legitimate content. We are one of many. They exist. We make sure the money goes back to the creatives. So that's one issue, economical. It's 92 billion shillings a year. The other issue for yourselves, there's no such thing as anything free. The minute you download pirated content, you're at risk of ransomware, you're at risk of losing your device, you're at risk of losing your data, and you're also at risk of identity fraud. These are not small guys. These are, I wish I had my slides. Oh, they're here. Great. There we are. There you go, visually. To the government, you're losing 17 billion in taxes a year. Okay? And 50,000 jobs. As I close, these are all the biggest crime syndicates in the world. The first column is piracy. The other columns are everything else evil in this world. So when you support piracy, you're supporting organized crime, you're supporting terrorism. 600,000 IPT users were linked directly to child trafficking in Sweden. You cannot tell me this isn't happening in Kenya. You cannot tell me this isn't happening in Africa. So those are 3 very good reasons not to pirate and to use legitimate services. Okay. That's our site. We're now live. Thank you. Click on the poster. Rent or own for life. We have the biggest collection of Kenyan shorts, documentaries, animations, and features available online. Okay? Come see us. You don't need any subscription. You pay by Bongo Points and Pesa card. People, whatever you want to do. Very quickly, we want to thank obviously the production company, Blackwell Films, as we sign out. Yes? Yes, Charlene? Some Fine Day Pics, and the German government for supporting us in this film. Ripple, thank you, Eric, director. Naomi, thank you. Okay, DocuBox. Jengaleo was the venue, as where we shot the location. Lightbox, very quickly, today is the beginning of impact screenings, okay? In February, this film needs to be seen by every underserved mother and every underserved healthcare professional in the country. And we can only do that with your help. I saw National Bank here. Please speak to Chloe as we leave today. She's leading us on Lightbox. Yes. Hi, Chloe. Wave. So we're doing impact screenings in February, the month of love, of course, and in March, the month of women. Okay, so please talk to us. We need to make sure more people see this film who can't afford to pay to see it. Then we have Kenya Film Commission, we have Fat Productions, Film Studios, sorry, in terms of the in helping in the equipment for the film. Fat Productions, my other company, thank you Liza, great job, and James. We've talked about Yakwetu MyMovies.Africa Extreme and Expose partner today to help us with technical. We talked about Mental 360 and Sasa. Thank you, Sasa. Thank you, Saint, for bringing in our cameras and everything. All right, so as we wind up, just a quick announcement. I hear there's a birthday today. So as we go outside, please grace the red carpet and join us in cutting the cake. And if you love this film, yes, it's a baby's birthday. I was gonna make it a surprise outside, but thanks, guys. Yeah, didn't read the script. So if you love this film, please go to the carpet. Please see Saint and Mugambi and tell us why you love this film and give us permission to put this online so more people will come and watch it on the service or in our impact screenings as well. Okay? Thank you so much for your attention. Thank you very much for coming.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, the cast and crew is going to take a bow. Please, if this is the time that you're going to be taking pictures and videos, they're looking so amazing, the light is looking good, so take your pictures and videos. The cast and crew, okay, no, they're getting their phones out. Hey, boss, okay. We want to have Talia, our cast member, and Mama Talia. Now, just in case you did not catch that, today, Talia shot that film at 6 months old. Today is the second birthday of our star, Talia. Please put your hands together for Talia. Oh, Talia, wait, Talia. Talia just wants to be daddy. All right, do we have our phones ready? We have our phones ready? Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for the cast and crew of Act of Love. Please, as loud as you can on 3. Happy birthday, Talia. 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday, Talia. Ah, that's so wonderful. Oh, that's her big brother. Ladies and gentlemen, that brings us to the end of this beautiful premiere of a beautiful, beautiful film. Thank you so much for being here. My name is Bun Mugambi. Thank you so much for everyone that made this possible, and thank you to you for being here. Let us make our exit and go cut some cake on the red carpet. Thank you for making this such a vibe. I wish you all a very good night and God bless you. Thank you. Thank you. Hey, Nivo, kazi yangu imeisha. Mimi naenda